What's up, boys and girls, and welcome back to another Black Desert online video. Today I'm going to be jumping on the hype train and going through what I believe are the top 10 reasons that you should play Black Desert. With the release of this game getting closer, a lot of people are asking me, hey, what's the best feature in this game? And it's hard to give just one great feature, so here's a list of 10 instead. Coming in at number 10 is the size of the world and no fast travel. Black Desert boasts a large world with amazing zones and seamless transitions. I'm now at level 52 on the Korean version and I still haven't explored a large amount of the world. I haven't even touched the desert yet and had a chance to explore it. Something that makes the world feel so vast in this game is the fact that there is no fast travel. You have to run everywhere either on foot or via your trusty steed. That means having to plan out where you want to go, which makes all your adventures feel a lot more epic. The first day of getting my horse, I actually just galloped around and went to see some of the amazing sights this game has to offer. Next up at number 9 is the economy system. Pretty much everything in this game is obtainable through in-game currency, meaning that it's very economy driven. Black Desert did a great job at making many viable ways to make money in this game, to buy your costumes, gear, or other things which you don't want to have to grind for. You need some silver? Try fishing. Maybe try some trade runs, or crafting, or even utilizing the worker system. If you do enjoy it, you can even go and grind. The fact that you have all these great options to make money means that you are a lot less likely to get bored with the game. Although I don't know a huge amount about this yet, I had to put this in the list as from what I've seen, it seems pretty goddamn good. At number 8, we have the immersive lore and NPCs. As you progress through the game, there are lots of cutscenes and voiced cinematics for you to watch and enjoy. You get to watch the evolution of your black spirit and follow the story of the world we live in. Not only does the main story sound interesting, but there are also plenty of side stories and quests to get yourself involved in. Many NPCs have their own storyline and lives to tell you about, but you have to talk to them and get to know them in order to learn about their secrets. This is a great touch added into the game for people who enjoy getting immersed in the story of the game, and with things like the conversation system with the NPCs, it adds a fun mini-game to learning more about the world around you. Coming in at number 7 is the housing system. One of my favourite features about the housing in this game is the fact that it's instanced, meaning that everyone has the opportunity to own a house. Yes, it may feel less special than other games where there are a limited amount of spots, but for someone like me who never actually managed to get one of those spots and own a house, I'm pretty happy that they're instanced in Black Desert. You can pick to have houses in any town you want. They come in all different shapes and sizes, and there are some very powerful customization features for within the house itself. You can change all the decorations in your house, including the flooring, the furniture, and you can even add your own little trophies from your adventure. Not to mention you can put things like cookers and alchemy tables within your house. Something that I'm looking really forward to is seeing the guild housing system. I haven't had a chance to see this yet, but I personally can't wait to have a large house that me and all of my guildmates can decorate and hang out in together. It will be amazing. That brings us on nicely to number 6, the guild system within this game. Compared to other games, Black Desert has a fantastic guild system. It's had a lot of thought and development put into it to allow a guild to really feel special, and they give some pretty cool rewards too. One of the biggest features in this game is the guild versus guild warfare, which of course can't be done without being in a guild. In this game, you actually earn silver from being in a guild. We can declare war on each other, the guilds level up through members completing group guild quests together, and then earn some cool in-game buffs like increased attack power, better gathering speed, and guild house perks. And on top of all of this, you can get a badass guild elephant that will trample all your enemies and leave them for dead, but that's something for another video. At number 5, we have the worker system and life skills. One of the first things I started doing when I played this game was to figure out how the NPC workers actually functioned. To put it simply, in this game you can command NPCs to perform tasks for you, like gather or craft items. To do this, you capture nodes, hire workers, and then send them off to gather your materials. Once they've gathered enough, you can purchase a building like a refinery, and get them to craft those rare materials into something useful. If you don't want your workers to do everything for you, then life skills is probably something you'll enjoy. There are lots of bonuses to processing the materials that your workers have gathered for you. Once you get the raw mats, you can process them into the finished product, but the higher the level you are, the more of that product you can actually create. Another fun thing you can do with this is trying to figure out new recipes. If you don't want to look up the recipe for a certain food online, then you can experiment with the raw materials until you can make what you actually need. Of course, you could always just look at the guides that are available, but hey, what's the fun in that? Okay, so the next feature I'm going to talk about was nearly number 1 on my list, purely because I found it so funny when I first tried it, I nearly cried from laughter. But when I thought about it seriously, I think that getting number 4 on the list was still pretty damn good. So, coming in at number 4 is the character creation and its somewhat ridiculous customization. People have made some incredible lookalikes of famous people with the amazing creation tool that Black Desert has given us to play with. But if you're like me and you're not very artistic, then you're normally going to create a player that resembles something more along the lines of Frankenstein's horror child. Seriously, the customization is insane. You can change everything from their hair frizz levels all the way to the shape of their pupils and, of course, the length of their neck. Because, hey, who doesn't want a long giraffe neck on their witch? Finally, the most important customization feature, you can adjust the boob size. Men can rejoice everywhere as they realize that this game is pretty much better than talking to a woman IRL. Don't worry boys, there is now no longer a reason to go AFK. Oh, and you can put the character in some pretty weird positions too. I'm not really sure why, but yeah. At number 3, we have no player trading and fixed auction house prices. Now, when I first played this game and I realized that I couldn't trade with my friends or simply purchase something off my friends, I was pretty pissed. At first I thought it was a bug, and then I thought it was downright shit, but after a while I realized that this is actually one of the best features that this game has to offer. If you can't trade between each other, that means that people can't be fed gear or given stuff at a cheap price. It also pretty much totally annihilates gold sellers and illegal item duping or selling. So that's always a massive positive for games. Leading on from that, it's also got a fixed auction house price. This means that players can't just simply list all the things at a low price for friends to buy out, or even worse, buy out the entire market on a particular item and crashing, followed by mega inflating the price. This means that the economy stays fair and reasonable for all players, and it allows you to not have to sit in front of the auction house all day to make money. I personally hated it when playing the auction house was the best way to make money in a game, as I felt it was boring and allowed certain people to become absurdly rich. So, just missing out on the number 1 spot and coming in at number 2 is the graphics in this game. Seriously, there are a lot of other good looking games out there, but the attention to detail in Black Desert Online is just simply stunning. When you compare this to any other MMO, then there really isn't anything else that comes close. The particle effects from the spells are beautiful, the detail of the world around you is incredible, and then there's all the little things that this game does amazingly. Like, as your armor loses durability, it slowly changes its appearance. It becomes torn and worn down. Parts of the clothing disintegrate, and some parts even totally fall off. It's little things like this that add amazing overall detail to this game. I've mentioned in my previous video that characters actually sweat in this game and become wet when it rains, which I just find awesome. And, of course, there is the water engine. I love games that have a great water engine. If it looks realistic, then normally I'm sold. I could be playing Barbie's Land of Adventure, and if it had 10 out of 10 water graphics, then you can bet your asses that I would be loving the game more than a kebab after a drunken night out. Don't worry though, like I always say, even if your computer is from the medieval era, you should be able to play this game, as you can turn the game's graphics down to simulate that of a SNES game. So that means that my number 1 feature in this game for me is the combat system. This easily has the best combat for any MMO I've ever played. It's smooth, it's fast paced, and it's truly action based. I love not having to tab target to a single enemy and spam one spell over and over again until it dies. In Black Desert, you have to immobilize your enemies with crowd control effects, dodge their incoming attacks, and gather large groups of enemies up for big AoE damage. This game allows you to pull 5+ mobs of your level at the same time and makes you really feel like a hero. And if you dodge the oncoming attacks, then you can take on even more. It really is an epic feeling, killing a large group of mobs and then moving on to the next. In PvP, the combat system really comes into its element. With the use of dodging attacks and using iframes, that's invincibility frames for any of you that didn't know, you can avoid large damage attacks and then lock your opponent down with a CC chain as you try to kill them. The way the spells are all keybound for you as standard helps you to learn to play the class fluently from the start. This way you don't have to worry about figuring it out later, as they are all done for you. I myself have changed a few key bindings, but the game gave me a very nice starting point. So, that's it for this top 10 video, guys. Let me know if there's any great features that you think I've missed. These, for me, were the best 10 things that roped me into the game, and I hope it's got some of you hyped to play it. As always, guys, if you've enjoyed this video, then please like and subscribe for more Black Desert Online content, and until next time, guys, take it easy and peace out.